Listeners and viewers, good morning and welcome to Spice FM. Apologies for that technical hiccup there with the repeat on. Uh, I'm joining you, Ammar Mirza, and I will also have very shortly a number of schools joining us as part of a pie challenge that we are incredibly proud to be bringing to you live right here on Spice FM. And you're listening to Ammar Without Jaff. And each week we bring you news, views, and one or two clues from the business world. Asian Business Connections aims to connect, support, and promote the Asian and wider communities. So, whether you have an existing business, you want to start a business, or you just want to talk business, we can help. And we do help. It's been an incredibly busy week. We've got a jam packed show for you today. So, not only are we going to hear from three schools, or we're going to get them on, and you're going to hear me talk to three schools and present the awards to these three schools on the back of the enterprise challenge that we have been running with a number of pioneers and trustees. But we're also then going to have our regular inclusion by default slot update. And then Vikas from GemArts is going to be joining us on the show to talk through the Gateshead Ethnic Minority Arts Festival that will be going on starting next week. So that's always a super exciting affair. And so we've got a great show, is what we have. Okay, so it's Friday, the 12th of July. You're probably wondering, what is the Pie Project? It's a charity that ABC's supported and promoted for a number of years. It introduces enterprise challenges into schools, is what it does. And rather than them being realistic, these are real live challenges. So each school gets has to go through a phase and a stage. So there's a STEM competition. They do coding. They do a range of things, and then from that we get onto the second stage, where we give each school £100 seed funding to set up a business, run a business with the pupils and everybody else involved, and a pioneer supporting them to then go out there and be judged purely on profit. But what type of things do they do? Teamwork, research, marketing, finances. So all of the things that a business needs to consider, these young people are learning in a live environment, in a live experience. And we're going to hear very shortly of how much profit they made. We've already had a presentation from them, and then they're going to be judged purely on the profit element, because that's the viability, and that makes sure that a business can survive and thrive. So let's get the schools in and on. I'm going to have to continue to talk because, well, basically because we're on a radio show as well. So let's admit everyone here. And whilst we're admitting everyone live on a radio show, I'm hoping that Newburn, Rysdale, and hopefully Gosforth is there as well. So what I'm going to do, and we're going to have to speak incredibly quickly here without pause or hesitation. What I'm going to ask you to do is just very briefly say who you are, because our radio listeners can't see you. And secondly, how much profit did you make? So you're going to have to speak rapidly on this. So I'm going to go into Newburn first, and hopefully James will be able to sort his kindly have his phone and his a microphone ready. But before we do that, Gosforth, your picture is incredibly fuzzy, is what it is. It's blurry. So I don't know if the blur's on. I appreciate we're having the best time ever with the technology this morning. But I think your blur setting must be on, because we could see you clearly before. Anyway, whilst Gosforth continue trying to, and perseverance is a great thing about entrepreneurship, right? So let's start with Newburn. If Newburn's ready to come off their mute and get ready to tell us who they are, so introduce yourselves and then very briefly tell us your profit. Go.
Oh, and I'm Ben. I'm 10 years old, and we have made enterprise.
I'm Grace, and I'm 10 years old.
I'm Catherine, and I'm 10 years old, and we made £180 profit.
So £108. 80. Oh, wonderful. Just like the dots. 180. Brilliant. Well done. So our listeners can't obviously see you, but I'm sure they've heard you. So well done, Newburn School. We haven't got anywhere with Gosforth. James, if you have your phone to hand, can somebody
Can you hear us now?
Yes, we
So we've
can.
got sound. So.
Oh, brilliant. We're not going to ask you to do the presentation again, because but just very briefly, actually, we've got a little bit of time. Let's, because you're all here, our young pioneers are here. Do some rapid introductions, speak very loudly, and then we'll get your profit, so you're all recorded. Although we can't really see you, but we can hear you now. Is what we can do. Go.
We are the marvelous makers. I'm Logan, the co-manager. I'm George.
I'm Huey. I'm Dom. I'm Saba, the sales manager.
I'm Basma.
I'm Maggie, the manager.
I'm Tibian, the finance manager. Our profit was £217.28.
£270.28. Brilliant. Well done. Thank you. Congratulations. Rysdale, do a quick introduction because you're live on air, but please don't swear. I'm sure you wouldn't anyway. But come on.
Hi, we're Randall School, and we raised £1,220.
Wow. Amazing. Well done. So obviously we can probably gather who's come first, second, and third with that profit there. But as I mentioned earlier on, you are all incredibly worthy winners. Let me get this right, the right way around. Have I got that right way around? Got it the wrong way around. There we go. Can you see that? It's is that back to front? So there's your big check. So that's what Newburn has won. £500 there. Big round of applause, please. And that's what you're getting. So lots of more sweets and slime and everything else. And I'm hoping that the school puts that to great use in developing or putting in place something to further encourage enterprise. Second place check, a huge whopping £1,000 to Gosforth. Gosforth, that's your winnings there. So brilliant effort. And but obviously in first place we have the amazing Rysdale with your £2,000 there. So fantastic. Very briefly, would the pioneers or trustees like to say anything live on air? Michelle, go. No pauses.
Just wanted to say, absolutely fantastic. I have loved every single second of your presentations, and you got to be so proud of yourself. And I just wish we had this pie project when I was at school, because I think every single person needs to know how to run a business and how to make money. So well done. Congratulations.
Thank you, Michelle. Well done. Big rounds of applause. So much money that you've all made, given the circumstances. And personally, I'd give you all a job today, not tomorrow. If I was allowed to, you'd all come and work with me and be part of not just apprenticeships. You'd be partners, is what you'd be in our businesses with your skill sets. Over across to Newburn. Would our wonderful teacher or our pioneer like to say anything?
Just been
please.
Been a pleasure working with the team here, Ammar. You can see the three very brave guys here at the front of the presentation, but there's a big classroom behind who've all contributed. So well done to everybody. Can we have a big cheer, everyone?
Well done. And all of our listeners all over the world will be so thrilled. And well done, all of the team. So thank you ever so much. Congratulations, Newburn. Over to Gosforth. Can we get some sound? Is it working?
It is working.
Brilliant.
I'd like to say thank you for giving us this opportunity, and we all had an enjoyable time. I think as a group we all enjoyed it and we had a wonderful time doing this.
The workshop was absolutely amazing and we all enjoyed it working as a team.
And again, thank you for the £1,000 and the gift. It was all such an amazing experience.
You're very, very welcome. Thank you, and thank you, teacher. I think we might want to invest in some broadband or something like that to address some of the challenges. But despite those challenges, the team and Gosforth done an amazing job. Thank you, teacher, for persevering with us. Thank you, James, our trustee there as well. Let's go across to the £2,000 winners. Rysdale, our brilliant pioneer, Mr. Mark Hill.
Thank you, Ammar. And I'd like to say to everybody listening that the PI project, the Primary Inspiration Through Enterprise charity project is fantastic, and I've been involved with it over a number of years. It's done very well for thousands of young people. I'd like to congratulate everybody, all three schools, first, second and third prize. You're all winners, as Ammar said earlier, and you've learned some great skills, and hopefully you can take those into the future, especially when you transition from education into your world of work.
Thank you. Amazing effort. And you know that Mark Hill is our brilliant pioneer who supported, and without our pioneers and our volunteers and our trustees, and I'd just invite Lieutenant Colonel Andy Black, head of the Army Engagement, to say something as well. You want me to stand to attention?
Well, that's absolutely fantastic. I'll allow Flo on behalf of the students in front just to say a little something first. Flo?
Thank you.
And that's fantastic. From everybody here, it is clear that they've got a lot out of the project, but I think as importantly, they've got great aspirations about what they want to do with their profit, with the prize money, and how they want to take that forward for other schools and other year sevens going forward. And as Ammar said, and others have said before me, well done, absolutely everybody. It's great to hear your journey. It's great to hear the skills that you've developed. And whatever you choose to do, just put your best into it and take other people along with you. And it'll be a great journey that you have. Well done, everybody.
Thank you. And thank you once again. And just to amplify that, this is a celebration. I imagine there's only a week left of term time as well. So everyone's having a bit of fun and celebration, looking forward to the summer holidays. Well, know this, that you as our leading young entrepreneurs have made such a big difference, right? And you've made such a great effort. And to go home and say to you, family, your parents, your carers, everyone that's involved, and share with them your experience, and know that we will be sending out certificates to everyone. So everyone will get a certificate to say that they've participated. And rest assured, if in sort of 6, 7, 8, 9 10 years time, any one of you turned up at my door and said, I've got a pie certificate, you'll get an automatic interview, and I'd be very happy to have that conversation with you. So, rest assured that this experience is going to set you up and hopefully build the foundations. As you've heard from our wonderful trustees and pioneers, it is about doing your best. It is about learning, and we want you to learn, but it's also about having a little bit of fun. And actually, business can be a little bit of fun. What you tend to see is all of the hard work and the things that people complain about. What you don't necessarily hear is the difference that businesses make. So thank you ever so much. Well done once again. Thank you, pioneers. Thank you for bearing with us with the technology. All the best, and have the best summer. And I look forward to hearing of your entrepreneurial journeys in the future. All the best. Take care.
Thank
And there we
you.
have it. And there we have it. We have all of our schools there coming on live on air, and sharing their wonderful stories with us. Incredibly courageous for them, don't you say, for them to come on live and tell us what they've done. The bits that you didn't hear as part of the Pie Channel Challenge was the fact that they each got £100. They each allocated roles and responsibilities, and they each then undertook developing a business plan and carrying out market research, talking to the customers, and going out and buying or making something and selling it. Newburn made sweets and slime because obviously that's what they knew would get bought, and understood that. So brilliant project, brilliant project. I love that, and it inspires me so much to see these young people talk about making a huge difference to them, to their camaraderie, developing teamwork, problem solving, selling. Rysdale went out and sold marketing and media to their customers, and whilst I'm slightly unfamiliar with what happened in Gosforth, it looks as if they had a wonderful time, and I think they made markers is what they had done, and sold some markers in their business effort. So I'm delighted, inspired, genuinely is what I am by their stories, their presentations, and the Pie Charity has just given £3,500 to 3 schools who have participated in the Enterprise Challenge. And just to think how much our schools are suffering from cuts and such like, imagine what that difference could make. £500 will buy lots of resources for them to do more things. £1,000 could buy a bit of an equipment, and £2,000 will really make a huge difference to a school. And thank you so much to all of our volunteers and our pioneers as well. Without them, we couldn't develop or deliver our charitable aims of transforming enterprise skills. Gosh, I'm a little bit exhausted with all of that, but let's get back into show business, and let's continue, because the show must go on. So that was the winner of the Pie Challenge, was obviously Rysdale, but for me, they were all winners. So in 3rd place, Newburn; 2nd place, Gosforth; 3rd place, Rysdale. Headlines this week, well, hundreds of British workers will be given greater choice over their hours as part of a new pilot by the official 4-day week campaign. It's a 6-month project. Employers will also try flexible start and finish times, a 9-day fortnight, and compressed hours. Unison and several big firms support the experiment, but other companies have abandoned the 4-day week after trying it. Campaign director Joe Ryle has said hundreds of British companies and one local council have already shown a 4-day week with no loss of pay can be a win-win for workers and employers. And yeah, I must admit, we couldn't afford that. We're driven by our customers. I imagine if you're doing production lines where you're not front facing and it's just purely about making products, it's far easier than a service company where people come and use offices that at a time and a place to suit them. Sleep could be boosted by saving small amounts. So however small the sum, saving helps people to relax and be optimistic about their future. Regular savers on low incomes have similar life satisfaction levels as richer non-savers. So saving money has been tough in recent years, owing to sharply rising bills and food prices. An estimated 5 in 10 people have a saving habit. Charities argue that setting money aside, even when on a small income, improves financial resilience. Regular saving leads to improved life satisfaction, even if only a small amount is set aside. And obviously, who could dismiss the England team buzzing after winning a place in the Berlin final? Anxiety levels out of the window, out of the stratosphere watching England play, but incredibly pleased and delighted and happy for everyone that we are. There's a bit of a feel-good factor to it, although it's peppered with so much anxiety as well. Other news, obviously, when we had the radio show last week, I wasn't here. I had been invited down to Burley House to meet with law and order leaders, so judges, police, probation, and judiciary, and a whole host of others as well, gathered to talk about the challenges and indeed the opportunities that exist when we are considering justice. And interestingly, the new Labour government have come in and we've heard quite a bit about the problems in jails. So addressing some of the capacity issues, the key thing is the jails aren't fit for purpose. Is the key thing. And yeah, anyway, I suppose apologies because you can probably hear me multitasking. And moving on to the 4-day week. Can this promote inclusivity? I don't know, but let's explore that by way of a topic. So, the business topic of the week. Can a 4-day week promote inclusivity in the workplace? The concept of a 4-day work week is gaining momentum as businesses seek innovative ways to enhance employee well-being and productivity. But beyond these benefits, can a 4-day week also promote inclusivity in the workplace? Can the shorter work week create a more inclusive and diverse work environment? So what are the benefits of a 4-day work week for inclusivity? Well, there's clearly an enhanced work-life balance. A 4-day week provides employees with an extra day to manage personal responsibilities, which is beneficial for those with caregiving duties. This can lead to a more balanced and less stressful life, making the workplace more accommodating for diverse needs. Increased flexibility. Additional day offers greater flexibility to pursue further education, hobbies, or other interests. The flexibility can attract a more diverse workforce. Gender equality. Women who often bear a larger share of caregiving responsibilities can benefit from the additional day off, can help balance professional and personal life more effectively, promoting gender equality in the workplace. Attractive, diverse talent may attract a broader pool of candidates, including those who value work-life balance and flexibility, can lead to a more diverse and inclusive workforce. What are the challenges and the considerations? So maintaining productivity, as you've heard me mention, part of the challenge is obviously for a service-driven organization, we can't afford to reduce the days or the working week when our customers demand us to be here 5 days a week. And in fact, we have a number of customers who now expect to be able to come and use our business centres on a weekend. So we ensure that productivity levels remain high despite reduced hours. Smarter working practices or investment in technology, industries, suitability. Not all industries or roles may be suitable for a 4-day week. Management buy-in requires support from all levels of management. Clear communication and strong leadership are essential. A 4-day week has the potential to promote inclusivity by offering greater flexibility, improving work-life balance, and attracting a diverse talent pool. However, its success depends on careful implementation and consideration of industry-specific challenges. As more companies experiment with this model, the evidence continues to grow in favor of its benefits for creating a more inclusive workplace. Yeah, I'm not convinced, is my view. I think if you extend the weekend, that then applies more pressure on you, I think, from all of those things that you build up and for a weekend. So you know, whilst of course a weekend is a wonderful thing, I'm not convinced everybody enjoys every single weekend, and especially when you think about chores and other things. Now, obviously, if it gives you 3 days rather than 2 to do those things, they may not feel as compressed or stressful, but equally they're then extended over 3 days rather than 2. So yeah, let's see. It's interesting to hear. One of the other things from an inclusion perspective is our in-work study. So we're undertaking an in-work study right now that we're trying to understand the challenges employers face from a recruitment, retention, and a progression perspective. We're also delivering a whole range of support for businesses. So the SME Centre of Excellence, if you're thinking about setting up a business or just recently set up a business and want some real support from some amazing experts, then reach out to the SME Centre of Excellence. If you're based in Northumberland, there's a whole host of funding and additional support there for you. And if you're based in Durham and you're interested in learning how to enter into the tendering, the billions of pounds available through tendering, then there's a tender readiness workshop starting on Wednesday in Durham that I would encourage you to explore. So if you haven't thought about tendering, the public sector and the tendering procurement platforms spend billions of pounds every single year through them. So if you have a good business and want to grow it, well, then you need to be tender ready. It also allows you to help understand how tenders are evaluated and what other things you can do to improve your business. So do please consider that. Okay, so I'm hoping that Vikas will be joining us shortly. But before that, let me give you some top tips So, the entrepreneur checklist topic, crafting an effective business plan, is something that I would encourage all of you to consider. Here's some top tips brought to you by the SME Centre of Excellence. So, crafting an effective business plan to help you create a realistic and compelling business plan. Here's 10 essential headings to consider. So, vision, what is it? What makes your business exciting and irresistible to customers, suppliers, and most importantly to you? Your vision should capture the essence and the potential of your business. Context. Explain what has happened in your life that makes this venture timely and necessary. Set the stage for why your business idea is relevant right now. Goals. What does success look like in terms of turnover, profit, customer numbers? Have clear goals which will help you and your stakeholders understand what you are aiming to achieve. People, who is in your team and why are they perfect for the job? Showcase the strengths and complementary skills of your team members. Products. Detail what you are going to sell and how your products or services will evolve in response to customer feedback and market changes. Show adaptability and forward-thinking approach. Competition. Identify your competitors and explain how you will be different. Know your unique selling points. Communication strategy. How will you communicate the benefits of your products or the services to your target customers? Effective marketing is essential for reaching and engaging your audience. Funding. How will you finance your business and what investors can expect in return? And demonstrate your financial strategy and feasibility. Measurement. How will you measure performance to ensure you stay on course? Monitoring key metrics is essential for managing and steering your business effectively. And what's your exit strategy? Plan for your eventual exit from the business. Do you intend to sell or pass it on to your children or close it down? Having an exit strategy is crucial. So the biggest mistake in writing a business plan is making it too long. Good business plans are concise, so they're focused and to the point. Emotional, show some passion and explain why you want to do this. Logical, provide confidence through clear and rational planning. Factual, demonstrate your understanding of the opportunity. Realistic, set achievable goals without overcommitting. A business plan is more than just a document for securing funding. It's a tool for guiding your business towards success. Be concise, emotional, logical, factual, and realistic. You ensure it remains relevant and useful, becoming an integral part of your business. Business plans. So many people just don't have them. I find it incredible. Anyway, delighted to have now our extra special guest, the wonderful, the superb, the super Vikas, the wonderful, I said that with a V, Vikas Kumar. Vikas, are you there?
1 second.
No.
Oh,
Hi, Vikas.
Hello.
Hey.
How you doing?
How are we doing? Yeah, great, great. You look younger. Time I see you. I need some of that aloe vera or whatever it is. Your magic secret sauce. Happy life is what it is, I think.
Thanks very much. I don't feel it sometimes, you know what I mean? So there you go.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, you certainly look it. So there you go. So let me just push this button a second, and so everyone's got this wonderful picture of you, where you actually look younger in real life than in that picture, and and actually my picture is the other way around. So is usually the case. So wonderful. Thank you for joining us. Delighted that you're here, because as always. And let's start by you telling us what you do, why you do it, where you do it. Please.
Cool. I'm Vikas Kumar. I'm CEO and Director of GemArts. GemArts is a South Asian and culturally diverse arts organisation, and we're based in Gateshead, but we work across the Northeast and nationally and internationally. So we promote, support South Asian creative artists, from classical to contemporary to folk traditions. We work with regional, national, and international artists. We've got a learning and participation program working with communities across the region to access high quality creative opportunities, and that could be around issues around tackling racism and discrimination, to art and health and well-being, or to just celebrate culture and identity. And why do I do it? It's because I think that arts and creativity are a powerful and absolute human right for people to sort of celebrate and to be to have access to. And also, you know, South Asian culture is rich, and it's just bringing that to the Northeast region, so our audiences, so our communities can be part of it, can celebrate their culture and identity, which is really important, and to see that represented in major venues, places and spaces across the region. So that's why I do it.
Brilliant. Well done. I was just thinking as you were sharing that, because that I don't think I've ever asked you, how did you get into this?
Well, so how did I get into it? So my background, right, is accounting and business, right, really. So that's what, again, when I was younger, I love the arts and creativity as well, right? But it's not
Why did you?
Why did I
Like,
love it?
what was
Because I was really good at art. You know what I mean? I was really good at art at school, and I just loved it.
Right.
And also used to collect comics and things like that. And, you know, we had a shop. So I used to, from a very early age, I just loved the fact that people could draw and stuff. You know what I mean? And I've always loved music. I've always loved music. So, but it's not something that, like when we were growing up, like, you know, we never saw those people in those positions, and also with families as well, like, you know, with a typical sort of South Asian parents, communities, like, oh, that's great for a hobby, but that's not going to earn you any money, you know what I mean? And it's not going to sort of, so basically I was kind of diverted quite strongly away from that into other sort of subjects as well. And so I did that. And then I was sort of, and then, you know, when all the sort of cultural sort of regeneration happened in early 2000, end of the 1990s, you know what I mean? Like when the Baltic and everything like that was sort of coming up and the investment was happening there, we were sort of running programs, and I was doing it voluntarily and sort of working, sort of putting on events and things like that here and there. And the Arts Council came to us, you know, and sort of said, look, you're doing all this work. Have you ever had sort of funding from, you know, arts-based funders and things like that? We didn't even know what that was at the time. So then there was a partnership just before the Sage Gateshead, well, while the Sage Gateshead was being built. And the idea was I had the role to sort of develop GemArts as a professional arts organisation whilst developing the Sage Gateshead South Asian programme, artist development programme, audience development programme, and participant development programme. So 2 years before that, the building actually opened, went, oh, all that amazing work happened before that, you know what I mean? And now, nearly 25 years later, which is, you know what I mean, 24 years later now, we still work closely with the Sage Gateshead, developing that programme, but equally working across other venues across the Northeast as well. So that's how I got into it, really. Yes, at that time, because it was great. It was that time when there was a lot of regeneration happening, loads of funding before austerity happening, and there was a can-do sort of attitude really at that point, you know what I mean, especially around culture and that cultural regeneration in Gates, and that, which then sort of, you know, again with the Angel of the North going up, it was just exciting, you know what I mean, and the Millennium Bridge and the Garden Festival, all that, you know what I mean. I think I was kind of there at the right place at the right time and sort of took the opportunity, really. That's what it was. And I guess I had a real passion for it, and now, like I said, 24 years later, still doing it.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah, I was just thinking there, as I say, I was like, I don't think I've ever asked or heard Vikas sort of share that story about the how, you know, as in how did you get into this, and realize, because I'm always incredibly inspired by how much enthusiasm you have for this, right? As in, and I talk about this as a thing, but actually it's a bit lot more than this thing. And I suppose what people are probably unaware of is, without Gateshead taking the regional lead and investing so significantly in culture, we wouldn't have the level or depth of cultural offering that we have, right? So, you know, whether that's the garden festival, whether that's the quayside development was locked because you know, Newcastle wasn't prepared to put in the money at the time, and it required Gateshead to you know, invest far more and more significantly in this space than Newcastle. So it's brilliant that that happened, and you're right. I you know, I sit and sometimes wonder, do I like sitting on the Newcastle side? And don't forget, you consider yourself a Geordie because you're on the banks of the Tyne, right?
Yeah,
That's
of
what
course.
you are.
Absolutely.
On either bank of the Tyne is the thing. But do I sit there and I think, sit on the Newcastle quayside and look across and go, some beautiful buildings there, and then vice versa, right? But the Newcastle ones are primarily historic ones that have been refurbished, right?
Yeah.
Whereas all of the vast majority of the actual investment has gone into Gateshead itself, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's like we can well remember like what the quayside was like back in the day, you know what I mean? And again, you know, the historical side's always been there. It's lovely to see that as well. But Gateshead, you know what I mean? I think it was quite a lot of derelict land. There was the old flour mill as well was there. And it was just, you know, it was a bit of an eyesore, you know, and I think as well, having that vision at that time for the local authority and those people involved in that as well was just, you know, that was quite visionary as well. And that, again, there was a lot of, I remember, backlash at the time as well. Oh, why are people investing in the Angel in the North and things like that at the time? Yet now it's one of the most significant, most like seen pieces of artwork across the world. You know what I mean? You can look, like, even if you have a look at the Euro, you know, behind the, like, even the Euros on at the minute, they always have the Angel of the North sort of somewhere as well and depicted somewhere, you know what I mean? So I think you know, I think it takes people sort of foresight and vision to do that, and like sort of, again, you'll have noise around that saying, oh well, why are you doing that, you should be investing in this. But then how much sort of in terms of tourism, how much inward investment, you know, brings to that. Like, I lived in London in the early 90s and no one knew where Gateshead was, you know what I mean? No one even heard of it. Even like Newcastle, people wouldn't even know where Newcastle was. They knew what bike, again, whenever you mentioned it, go bike a Grove, you know what I mean? That's what it was. But and then, you know, at that time as well, the football team were doing great as well, you know, in the Keegan and things like that. So there was just a real kind of can-do, really, you know, buzzing attitude really at the time. And I think, yeah, that's kind of, you know, help. Also for me, like, I was just sort of thinking, I just saw this bit of news today. It's 25 years since the Baltic had that installation by Anish Kapoor. Can you remember that big tarantula, right? It was inside. That kind of inspired me at the time as well. Because when I found out that he was,
sorry, say that again, Vikas. Say that again.
So do you know that before the Baltic was actually built, right? There was a art installation in there. It was huge. If you go on, it was called Tarantra, right, by Anish Kapoor. If you Google it, look at it. It was epic. And I remember going to see that. It was just so epic. You can go and see it.
What? So tell us about it then.
So do you know it was? So basically, do you know the shell of the Baltic, right? So it was just a shell at the time. They'd taken all the floors off, right? You know what I mean? And this was before it was getting rebuilt. And inside they made this installation of this red cone-shaped thing on either side, right? Yeah, I can't explain it. You have to go and you have to Google it.
I'll have to.
And I went to see that, and that kind of inspired me massively at the time. I just thought, wow, not just because it looked so magnificent, but also I didn't know that there was this Asian artist that could create this sort of epic sort of work. And he's like a really famous artist as well. You know, I mean, he's incredible, Anish Kapoor. And I think that also
what does tarantara mean?
I think, do you know that that I think it's a sound, you know, tarantara, tarantara, like that. You know?
Yeah.
You like that?
Dun, tarara, tarara,
Yeah, that's
dun,
what.
dun,
Yeah, I
tarara.
think that's where it comes
I
from.
made that up. I did
Something
it.
like
Dun,
that.
tarara.
Yeah, it might be that. So yeah, that inspired me massively, and it's like 25 years since that was that was first shown. And I guess partly as well, I think that significance, that knowing that was an Asian artist as well, that created that work. Huh?
So was that pre-millennium or like 1999 then?
Yeah, so if it's 25 years ago, it's 25 years ago this now, really, yeah. So I think it was just yeah. Yeah, it was pre-millennium, yeah, it was just 1998.
But do you remember where you were on Millennium?
Yeah, I can actually. I was
You're not allowed to tell anyone.
I was probably just I don't know, probably dancing in a club, probably in a club somewhere.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
But that's a
No,
lot.
just because it was like such a big deal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like, can you remember the world was going to end, all the planes were going to fall out of the sky?
Yeah,
And
all that zero thing, wasn't it? With the digital stuff. Didn't happen. Yeah, it was good.
I remember, I mean, gosh, the amount of money I got paid just for working that one night. But then was on call or whatever it is, and then like was on the quayside as well. So that was because it was the big thing on the quayside. It was
yeah,
like
yeah.
that's when the quayside kicked off, and that's when they launched it. And I remember there being there, but I just remember because I was in IT and we were like all of the systems that I was on call, and I think I had my pager. Actually, probably had a phone by then. But yeah, I just and then nothing happened, and I was
No.
like, oh, well, I was in.
All that work.
Obviously, I don't know. I would hate for anything to have happened, but the clock changed and no systems failed, and all of that. It's funny. It's funny. But, yeah.
Just it was like, but just to also say, like, I've just been listening to your show as well, and the Pi Project's fantastic. You know what I mean? Those young people are just incredible. You know what I mean? I think
Brilliant. But because you do
such
so
a
much
great,
with,
yeah,
you've done that though, haven't you? As in, you've been working with you reach far more children and young people than anybody else that I'm aware of.
No, but
brilliant.
But again, like just sort of giving that opportunity and also like enabling that to happen really, and sort of getting that sense of like what you can achieve in terms of like business wise, and sort of having that sort of, again, because those opportunities don't really happen much within schools as well, and to enable that to happen, that's really great. Like, I think, and again, like the teachers there were hugely excited about that opportunity, and I think that's really quite inspiring really as well. When you hear that sort of stuff, you think, wow, that's making a difference really, and then there might be some young person as well that around there, might be the next big entrepreneur within that, you know what I mean? Because that's where it comes from.
I hope so. Yeah, I do hope so. I said to them, anyone want a job, come and reach out to me and whatever. Because these young people, right? Or they're developing the skills now, and they're now sat there thinking, what do I do with these skills? And it's now that they start thinking more broadly, and you're sparking them, and at that age, I remember sort of, because it was 20 odd years ago when I first became a governor of a school, and then became chair of governors of a school, and it's just interesting that it's been going for that long, and the young people are like, oh my gosh, but their parents get it as well, and the carers and the rest of the people. I mean, the one thing that everyone knows is about jobs and business, right? So to introduce that early on, I think is key. Anyway, thank you for that. We're here about the brilliant festival, aren't we?
Yes, well, so yes, so this is the 9th year of Masala Festival. I was just thinking, God,
fantastic.
9 years of Masala Festival. Yeah, so I don't know where that's gone. This is my yearly visit, and I'm always thankful as well to ABC for Spice FM for continuing to support it, and also obviously Dabawal as well. Jalp's not here today. But yeah, we've got another incredible lineup, which starts next week from the 15th to the 21st of July. A mix and blend of the finest South Asian arts and culture across venues and places in the Northeast. So we'll kick off on Monday on Dance City with a fantastic performance by incredible dance company called Bagrav Dance Company, Anustan. It's 11 strong ensemble of dancers, Kathak dancers and neoclassical dancers. And it's an incredible show. You know what I mean? It is going to be brilliant. So there's still a few tickets left for that. if people like film and cinema, we've got an event at Baltic as well, a film show. One of the films that we're showing, the one of the directors just recently won a major award at Cannes as well. So yeah, so it's kind of, it's quite coincidental. We're showing one of her previous films, but she just won a major award at Cannes for her new film as well. So come along to that. That's on the 21st, and then we've got something at Tyneside Cinema. I'll run through a couple of things, you know what I mean, because there's quite a lot happening.
No, I know it's just, but and then you can direct people, because we always get cut short. I'm always conscious of the timing. They have a different clock in the studio than the rest of the world. But anyway, give us some headlines and then where people find out more from as well, please, Vikas.
And then we've got an incredible evening on Thursday evening, Free Spill, which is so another because I was lucky enough and fortunate enough to win an ABC award, and Tamina Ali, who I've been working with for a number of years, who's an incredible poet, incredible artist, really fantastic, Geordie, you know what I mean? So she'll be she's produced and curated and hosting Free Spill, which is Desi Soul Floor, a night of poets and spoken word poets from South Asian diasporas. So that's from regional, national. So we've got her, we've got Wajid Hussain, who's incredible. We've got Brown Girl Rights, who are an ensemble of young female writers within the region. And then we've got Nasima B, who's from Manchester, who's an incredible spoken word poet. That's on Thursday. That's over at the Diversity Hub in the West End. We've also got, in terms of music, we've got some incredible music happening. So on Friday, during the daytime, we've got the Rajasthani Brass Band, Heritage Brass Band up and down Northumberland Street, both at Haymarket and at Monument. So that's free from 2 till 4. No, 2 till 5.
When's that?
That's on Friday from 2 till 5. Friday, yeah. So Friday the 19th of July.
Yeah.
And so that's up and down Northumberland Street. So come along, absolutely free. Bring the kids, have a look around and that. And then later that evening at the Glass House, we've got this incredible band called When Chai Met Toast. They're going to become massive really soon. You know what I mean? So they're an indie folk pop rock band, and they're singing English, Tamil, Hindi, and but they're getting a massive global audience at the minute. They're one of the most streamed bands out of India at the minute, so that's quite significant. So they're doing the gig at the Glass House, but I'd recommend, there's still a few tickets left for that. Come and see that, because before you know it, they'll be playing major sort of stadiums, and the ticket price will be much higher than what we're charging now. So come and see them. You're gonna read straight away.
Where do people find out, because we're gonna get cut off? Where do people
find out? If you go on gemarts.org, you'll find out like the whole Full Masala Festival program there. We've got workshops, we've got a mini miller that happens at the end of it, which is free. So we've got stuff for kids, families, adults, all sorts of different price points. So we'll make sure that it's affordable on all sorts of different levels. So yeah, just look on the website and you can, and we look forward to welcoming everyone. Really, it's always a really fantastic week. So yeah, and the audience and everyone else makes it. And also we've got the menu at the Masala Festival menu at Dabawal that starts on Monday as well. I've had a sneak peek of that. That looks delish.
I'm looking forward to buying that as well. Anyway, thank you ever so much, Vikas, for coming on. You've been listening to Vikas and Ammar and Pioneers and everything else. We live in the best region in the world, obviously. Well done, Vikas. And I'll be there. I'll see you on Monday. Look forward to it.
Take care.
All the best.
All the best.
Bye-bye.
All the best. See you.
Bye.